absolute favorite. And I didn't even do a really super in-depth lecture. I just gave you all of the benefits of everything that you're eating right now, basically. I didn't do the hemp. I didn't do the flax, and I didn't do the chia because we've already kind of beat that to death. Those are just, they're superfoods for your gut bugs. They absolutely love them because they're soluble fibers. End of story. So, fantastic fungi. This is actually the name of a movie that you should watch. It's on Amazon, and it's
really
like
good.
Brilliant. I know. The first time Spencer, who's the gentleman who grew all of these beautiful things for you, one of the first times we hung out, he was talking about it. It like brought tears to his eyes. He's totally a mushroom guy. So just a quick little fun facts on mushrooms. They actually breathe oxygen. They're not like plants where they breathe in CO2 and excrete oxygen. They are very similar to us. They actually share about 50% of the same DNA as us. That's why they're kind of an adaptogen, because they go into our systems and their genetic essence can work with ours very, very, very well. That's why they're so powerful within our system. You look great, by the way. Good. They are the largest organism on land. In a handful of soil like this, you have 26 miles of mycelium, which, if you think of like the tree of life. Hey, Charlie Joan. Shh. Thank you. The tree, and then you have the roots underneath. Like if you pick up the dirt and you see all those like white roots, that's all mycelium. It literally is the nervous system of Earth. It communicates with plants. You can talk to a mushroom here, and one over there in China gets the message. It's like instantaneous. It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant.
Wow.
They exchange nutrients and sugars and minerals with other plants. They're an interdependent species, because that's how God created Earth. Oh, interdependent species. And they are part of what brings everything back into ashes, bacteria, viruses, and mycelium, fungi, does all of the breaking down, dust to dust, when things die. So here is our first mushroom we're going to talk about. His looked way better than this. Shiitake mushrooms, which you can get in the grocery stores. They're very popular. They are amazing at decreasing blood pressure.
Wow.
They feed your gut bugs, and I thought this was really cool. They increase killer T cells, which those are the blood cells that destroy viruses.
Okay.
But like very potent in that. Mushrooms are ridiculously medicinal. Like that's all they are, is they're medicinal. That's medicine. Turkey tail.
Yes.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Like who wants to cook?
Wow. Isn't that so pretty?
Yeah.
It looks like a rock.
It looks like a beautiful turkey tail. These, like shiitake was really potent for increasing your killer T cells. These, 100% anti-cancer. 100% anti-cancer. I actually got most of this information from Dr. Berg, who I use quite frequently, and he said if anybody in my family gets cancer, they're going right on turkey tail. That's
Dr. Eric Berg?
That's the one. They have non-specific immune modulating action, which means that the white blood cells eat whatever the active compound is in turkey tail. I didn't bother with that. They bring that compound into the lymph, and then that compound in the white blood cell creates the cancer cells to undergo apoptosis, which is cell death. So the cancer cells, in the presence of whatever this active compound is inside turkey tail, they pop and disintegrate, which I thought was pretty cool. And it also decreases gut inflammation. Yay! This is the beauty that you're eating. Now, the one that he grew did not, there's a couple different species of lion's mane. We did get this at one point. Then he grew some like fractally looking one that looked like some crazy coral. And the one that he's making looks more like, I'm so upset I didn't bring one, how silly. honestly like a brain because it makes an easier nugget. So it is more like a ball shape with all of
Almost
these
like
cool little
cauliflower.
balls. It does. It looks exactly like cauliflower. Thank you, Lisa. You're welcome. This is God's version of Adderall. So for anybody that has ADHD, or if you know anybody who has ADHD, or if you have a college student, lion's mane. There's a ton of supplements. Obviously, go to a reputable source, get something really good. You can buy a mushroom blend. There you go.
It's got all this in it.
It's got all of it in it. But no lie, the cognitive abilities that it opens up in your brain is absolutely phenomenal. Increased focus, increased concentration, increased memory. And that's like exponential. Like I wish I should have highlighted and made those all bold. It's so profound, and you notice a difference very, very quickly. It also repairs nerve tissue within your brain, like the myelin sheath, the gel coating that goes over your nerves, things that they said a long time ago that you could never grow back. This completely repairs them. Because it has a brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is basically Miracle-Gro for your brain tissue. Like, God is so good. Reishi. So, lion's mane was natural Adderall. Reishi's natural Xanax. It decreases anxiety. It increases your ability to sleep. It decreases cortisol. And it increases your stress tolerance.
Pass out tonight.
All right, so that's it for the mushrooms. So in that blend is lion's mane and reishi. We're working on turkey tail. He says it takes a little while to grow. Yes.
Can you take it in a capsule?
I'm sure there's a
In a
lot.
beast
Yeah,
I'm
they do.
totally, yes, absolutely. I mean, because it's powdered form. What's interesting, they have to do, in order to get the powders, I don't really even understand it, they have to have like an amazing amount of mushrooms in order to break them down into the powders.
The grinders.
Yeah, I know that it was 2 grams, 1 gram? For a serving size of lion's mane and reishi, which is almost like a teaspoon. So if you're taking it in a capsule form, you're probably going to have to be required to take a few capsules,
Yeah, 2
as
grams.
opposed to just getting a powder
Take
and mixing it into something. You can check it out.
They make powders.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I did with this. Yes, I just went and sourced
Okay.
powders.
And if you take it in pills, you're gonna have to take like
A couple.
Yeah,
The
like
big
the big
ones.
ones. At that point, you're better off just buying in powder. and
Yeah,
throwing
because
it
that's
in.
what it is anyways. It's just capsule
Yeah.
powder.
How many mushrooms are in the powder?
In that blend, there's lion's mane and reishi. He's gonna start growing turkey tail, and there was one other one that I wanted him to start growing too, which he's gonna look into. So we're working on it. It's a new endeavor. Okay, so ashwagandha. This is like God's second version of natural Adderall.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. It's an adaptogen, which means, like we know, it just kind of goes in and fills in the holes where it needs to fill in the holes inside your system. It decreases cortisol, it decreases your blood sugar, it decreases your stress, it decreases your anxiety, it decreases depression, it decreases your inflammation and pain, and it increases testosterone, brain function, and sleep.
It's great for your adrenals.
Yeah, cortisol, it's great for your adrenals, absolutely great for your
I
adrenals.
use that every day.
Now, question.
Yes, ma'am.
I've
tincture.
heard, what?
I tincture.
You tincture it. I've heard 2 different schools of thought, that you can take it for a certain time, then you're supposed to take a break.
Mhm.
And then I've heard other people that are like, no, I take it every single day and I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, you could take it every single day.
Okay, because I take it absolutely every
Yeah,
single day and
no.
I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay.
I will tell you, from a testimonial standpoint, it did help increase the testosterone level. Like when I first started my whole journey, I started with ashwagandha first.
Mhm.
And it actually helped me increase from 189 to 360.
Oh, wow. You had
And
labs
that-
done, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I did. And that was just with the ashwagandha, right? And so now I created like a men's formula, and I'm going to test it this week sometime. So-
All right, I'll be a guinea pig.
Yeah, I have one too.
Yep. Oh, we all got men. She's got a man. I got a man. If you need guys, I love that you're doing that. That's so cute.
Yeah,
I have his tincture. Remember you gave that to me?
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, so, yeah,
I
I could bring
mean,
you guys a sample.
It's just like,
You went backwards.
Oh,
Yeah, and just so you know, so for me, the ashwagandha works great because in the morning, aside of the yerba mate, I do take the ashwagandha because it acute my mind for the morning. But what's really interesting is that at night, because my mind is running so much, I take a dropper of that, and I kid you not, within a half hour, I'm passed out.
Yeah.
It knocks you out. So it recognizes it when you need it in the morning for your function.
Adaptogen.
Yeah, and then at night, it recognizes you need to go to sleep,
yeah.
so it
Who
knocks me
needs
in.
AI? We have this. Like,
Yeah.
Totally brilliant.
But
Totally
it's,
brilliant. That's awesome.
yeah, and I'm actually growing it, so it's pretty big right now. It's like 5 feet tall.
Wow,
I had to bring it
really?
in. I had to uproot it because I didn't want it to kill it because it doesn't survive in our zone area.
Well, that makes sense. But how did you? So you just have like a big ball of dirt in your living room?
In my
happened?
in my garage?
No.
No, I just
Oh,
scooped.
that makes way more sense.
Yeah. No, I scooped it out. You're gonna laugh because it's just two huge rods, but they're producing so many seeds. So I have like literally an envelope filled of seeds for next season. So I'm gonna I'm gonna make a batch of ashwagandha in
Yeah,
my
I think
in
you
my
need to
And it's
property.
share
the
your
root.
little seeds.
And it's the
little
root.
Seedlings with us.
It's the root.
Yeah.
So then you-
So in regards to the ashwagandha, the root is where the medicinal products are at. However, you can use the leaves to make teas. It doesn't have the same constituents like the roots,
Right.
but the potency is still there. on
Okay.
the
Oh,
leaves.
really? Okay.
So just so you know.
Well,
But
that's
I mean,
amazing.
at the end of the day, it's the root where everything's
Right.
at.
Where this stuff's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
long does it take to grow to maturity to get the root?
Believe it or not, 1 year.
Wow. So it's a whole
Oh,
year.
wow.
Yeah, it's a whole year.
So it's like ginger takes a long time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you could do it, a lot of people suggest that, you should wait for 3 years because the soil actually has to be very sandy-like because it needs to be drainaged, right?
I think I'll be
So,
fine.
and not only that, but when you pull it out,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have a whole bunch of, roots. I mean, when I pulled mine out, it had like at least, I wanna say maybe, it wasn't that great, but it was enough, like probably maybe 400 grams of it. But I have marshmallow root, and the marshmallow root, oh my God. I pulled that sucker out because I needed to transplant it someplace else, and the roots were enormous already. So that one, I'm gonna keep it for next year because I need the flowers for that one so I can produce more of it.
I think we need to have a field trip. Like
think I need
maybe
actually
the
the border
spring.
house.
Sorry.
All right, maca. This is the other thing that's in there. It's actually a cruciferous vegetable, which I don't think I knew until
I didn't
today. I
know
knew it was
that.
a root, but I didn't know it's in
I
the
didn't know that it
brassicas or
was
cruciferous.
Do you know there's
family.
3 colors of it?
I didn't. Oh, I think I saw some red today.
Yeah, there's red, there's the beige one.
Yeah.
And I believe there's a brown one, and each one is for different people. So for instance, the white one, I believe, is for female. The red one is, maybe the red one is for female, but the brown one or the black one, whichever one color it is for male, because they both have different constituencies for them.
Well, right. I did know that. I did read that today.
Yeah.
It's also another adaptogenic herb. This is the king and queen of balancing hormones in terms of increasing libido, increasing fertility in women, and increasing testosterone in men. Now, this is not like, oh, it's going to increase testosterone in women or it's going to increase estrogen, and it's not like that. It balances within your system. So if you're a female, it's working on your female hormones. If you're a male, it's working on your male hormones because God is so good. Increases libido, that's amazing. Decreases cortisol, and it increases energy. Like, I'm sorry that y'all just had that. You might be a little buzzed for a little while. That is why it is technically a coffee replacement. That's why I usually a little bit. Spirulina is also in it because all of the blends that I have seen are pretty good in terms of the mushroom and some maca and some other random things, but I was like, why not get the minerals and the vitamins and all of the other stuff in there? Yes. Makes sense, right? So this was brilliant, and I thought it was, because we've talked about spirulina so much, but in terms of the astronauts, because this is what the astronauts use, which I didn't necessarily know. But they did, and they do, because they need to prevent bone loss. They need to prevention of bone loss, that's what that should say.
Yeah, bone
Muscular
loss.
atrophy, metabolic rate changes, loss of body mass, cardiovascular breakdown, decreased immune function, and high exposure to radiation.
Yes.
Was it you that told me? Or did I read it somewhere that if you just have spirulina and water, you
Yes.
will live for the rest
Raw
of your life?
spirulina,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
of the minerals.
Yes, it has everything in it that's necessary to sustain life.
Jamaicans swear by it.
NASA concluded in 1970 that it is one of the most powerful concentrated foods available to mankind for increased immune function and removing toxins. He had to check on this statistic in 3 different places to make sure that it was right, but the nutrient value of 1,000 kilograms of fruits and vegetables equals 1 kilogram of spirulina. That's the nutritional density of it. It's so amazing. That's mind-blowing. Your face is lit up, and I like that. He's like, yeah, man. It's loaded with potassium, calcium, magnesium, beta-carotene, all of your antioxidants are going to be in there. Well, a lot of them. It's got 8 essential amino acids. It's 9 if you combine it with like some sort of grain. It's a nutrient-dense superfood. It's got 6 times more absorbable iron than most iron supplements.
Wow.
Did you try it? Did you put some syrup in it?
I did.
Okay. It's packed with phytochemicals, chlorophyll and phycocyanin, which those are the components that remove toxins. Heavy metals.
Heavy metals.
I heard from certain people on YouTube that it's good to rinse with.
What, your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything chlorophyll is.
What,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. I'm sure. Absolutely.
That's right.
To rinse with it.
Oh.
Oh.
I would then want to swallow it, but
Oh, no, don't swallow it. It's like mouthwash.
there.
Sorry.
Okay, I also put dulse in here.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Seaweed.
That's great.
Seaweed, so good.
High in minerals.
High
High in iodine, which you need for proper thyroid function. All of your minerals are going to be. The seaweed soaks in the iodine from the seawater and concentrates it down to like 30,000 times. It's so rich in proper iodine, not like your iodized salt, which is junk. This is actual, real, great bioavailable iodine. It's also high in protein. I'm not talking about like, actually no, this was high in protein. The statistics ranged anywhere from like 20-something% all the way up to 40, depending on where you looked, which for seaweed is high. And it's bioavailable. Your body doesn't have to break it down from 100 different things to get amino acids. The amino acids are right there.
Oh man, this is great. Great.
It's a
workout.
great drink, right?
It's a great workout too, for me.
Kelp. It's also got kelp in it. Balances thyroid hormones. All of the seaweeds are basically going to do the same thing. Balances estrogen, enhances IQ. Kelp has got all of the trace minerals in it. Kelp has got all trace minerals in it. You can hit this way when I'm done, but I'm not done yet, so you can see in front of me. It enhances IQ, so anybody that's pregnant you should tell them to take kelp because it'll help with neurological development in your baby. It's got 10 times more calcium than milk. Magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, vitamin C, B vitamins. This one was a new one that I had never heard, but it's because there's like bajillion phytochemicals, which again are plant chemicals that have specific goals, they have specific functions, thank you. That one's super high in anti-cancer. And then this is a trace mineral that helps balance blood sugar, but it's pretty potent. Iodine, like I said, seaweed concentrates iodine from the seawater 30,000 times. And it's also got a lot of bioavailable amino acids. You're up, kid. And sea lettuce is the last ingredient in there. It's high in fiber. Again, they all kind of really high in minerals, bioavailable amino acids, full of antioxidants, and different colors carry different components. They're all just really beautiful.
My kind
I'm
of
happy to give them to you.
My
What?
kind, my kind
Yeah,
of
right? Okay, last one. And I lied, cinnamon. It's a natural sweetener. Because it smells good, it tricks your brain into thinking that you're having something sweet. It decreases insulin resistance, and they did, and whatever the study was that this came from, they took the top 20 most popular spices, which cinnamon obviously is, and cinnamon came out top in terms of phytonutrients, number 1. So, I mean, I put cinnamon in everything, including chili, because he started that, and I thought it was a really good
The only
idea.
thing is I've heard is that you really need the is that how you pronounce
No, not true. Dr. Begberg today
it? Okay.
said the Cylon is the natural, it's the real one. Cassia is the more readily available
Yes.
one that's everywhere. It's
But
less
that's where everybody
expensive.
thinks it's, yeah,
But the nutritional profile is almost identical.
okay.
So explain to me why you need one over the other. I'm not sure. Maybe a purist. But
Interesting.
that's what he said. He said there is very hardly a difference in the nutritional panel between each one, so don't worry about it. It's negligible.
Interesting.
Fine by me.
Okay.
Last slide, kid. And this is, I just wanted to touch on insulin resistance because it's definitely something that we talk about in here, and I didn't know if we've actually talked about it. But when you feel hungry and you are craving food and you go to a high carb choice, you flood your blood with sugar, and insulin gets released from your pancreas and it gets the sugar into the cells, which is great. But at some point your cells are like, no, I've had enough sugar, and it blocks the insulin from, the insulin's like a key to get the sugar inside the cell, and your cell's like, no, I'm good. So now you have all of this sugar floating around in your bloodstream, which then your liver has to store and turn into fat. So that's what insulin resistance means, because if you're constantly hitting yourself with high carbs, your cells are like, no, and they're resisting the insulin because they don't need the sugar inside the cell. So that's all that meant. All that means. That's it.
Awesome.
All that.
Storm that I face, every mountain in my way is making me strong.